What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. 136, I believe this one is. Getting our way up there, man. We'll be at like 1,000 by no time, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Just we got the NBA Finals on. I mean, can't complain, man. I just wish these games weren't so far apart, man.
I know it's painful. Whatever happened to just every other night? Like, these guys are adults. They can take a 3-hour flight or 4-hour flight from Denver to Miami. It's not like they're traveling commercial and waiting in airports and stuff.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it does. They do the 2-2, then it goes 1-1-1. So, I mean, after game 4 it is, I think.
Yeah, but they're going to fly back and forth. They're probably, I don't know what the schedule is, but I think game 6 is next Thursday. So they're giving them a lot of time in between these games.
But I mean, I guess they're trying to, give our players opportunity to rest up a little bit. And I don't know, man.
Every other night is what these things should be. It's what it used to be. It used to be in the NHL too. The NHL is doing the same thing the NBA is doing. They're giving them, an extra travel day. I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Since we're in the NBA, let's stay up in this, please. Peace. Like I said, man, we got the NBA Finals tied up 1-1 right now. We got Denver and Miami going at it right now. I still favor Denver in this, man. I don't think they have much to worry about against the Heat. I still think it goes either the gentleman's sweep, might go 6 because Miami snuck 1, but I don't think Miami has what it takes to beat Denver in the 7-game series.
I don't either, but I thought that about Milwaukee, and I thought that about the Celtics too. So, I heard it. I think it was Windhorst was saying, he goes, Denver, by all accounts, should win this series probably in 6 games at the most. But he's like, every time I feel like I have Miami figured out, they go and win a game they're not supposed to win. So I'm with you. I think that they're the clearly more talented team. But it's hard to count this Miami team out. I mean, you got Spo, you got Jimmy Butler, who Jimmy hasn't been great in these first 2 games. He had a couple of big shots down the stretch in game 2, but it's been the role players, Duncan Robinson, Strus in game 2, and I mean, Michael Porter and Jamal Murray had rough starts on the game on Sunday, and that did them in. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, man. That's what's pretty much going to come down to kind of those others on both sides. If the Heat, those undrafted guys, if they can step up and make some big plays, knock down a bunch of threes like they did the last game, and then on the Denver side, somebody else is going to have to step up when things get rough outside of the Joker and Murray. Ultimately, I think, like I said, I think Denver's just going to be too much. I think they're 1 through 9 is way more talented, but talent doesn't beat effort. And Miami, he's one of those teams that got a lot of effort. So you can't let them play them and expect them to lay down. They're going to give you everything they got every quarter, every half, every loose ball, everything, man.
No, I agree, and I think that's what makes them dangerous. Malone obviously wasn't too happy with the way Denver played in game 2. Kind of ripped him in the media. Apparently, it was 10 times worse in the locker room. Yep. So, I mean, the first game they've lost, I think, in almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I still like Denver. I think they're, like you said, they're better, but the Heat culture is something, man.
Oh yeah, you kind of tell that the Nuggets are kind of waking up. We told them you can't be sleeping on this team. I mean, Joker and Murray came out hot. Just hit my first quarter parlay already because they needed over 15 points and 5 assists.
There you go.
Like 1 assist away, but so I mean, ultimately, like I said, I think they're that 1-2 punch is going to be too much for them, especially if it went to a 7-game series.
Yeah.
And then another news in the NBA. I mean, we had some new coaches get hired. We had the Suns. They hired Frank Vogel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that was the best hire, but hey, it's gonna be interesting to see how he does over there.
You know how I feel about these retreads.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, Vogel seems like a decent coach. I like new blood. Some new talent in there. But I mean, so this will be what Vogel's third job. I mean, so other like when it's like a guy like Monty Williams who's getting a second chance and was pretty good where he was and just kind of got dealt a bad hand. I think it's different. But when it's like Vogel who's been fired, it's like, all right, what's the deal here?
Yeah, but like I said, man, maybe I don't know if it was something approved by the players or they're under new management. So maybe that's what we thought was the best hire, going to be the best hire based on the candidates that interviewed for the job. Maybe wanted a proven coach. And he felt like that was the best proven coach that they had available. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially the fact now that they're initially they were trying to cut Chris Paul, then now they're trying to trade him. Looks like they're trying to move him and Ayton. I don't know if it's going to be a package deal together or separately, but I mean, I felt like they should have moved Ayton, instead of Bridges for Kevin Durant, or they should have moved Ayton since last season, the end of last season, before the season even started, because he was kind of the piece that kind of quit on the team, and we saw that in the finals, in the playoffs, in the previous year. So.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be interesting to see what they try to get. Definitely going to try to get some role players. And then they're going to probably switch the type of offense where it's going to allow Book. So that's kind of what we saw in the playoffs, where Booker is going to be the main ball handler. So they're able to push it and get up and down faster, because that was one of the things that hurt them, that they weren't able to run, when they had Chris Paul at the point guard. So.
Yep, I agree there.
On some other new coaching hires, I mean, we did get some new blood. We got your boy Adrian Griffin, former player of the Dallas Mavericks. He's actually the Bucks coach now. I think that's going to be an interesting one as well. Looking forward to see how that plays out. I feel like I don't know if he's the right coach for Giannis or some of those other players on that team, but I feel like Giannis, there's still a lot of untapped potential with Giannis that is going to need a coach to bring that out of him.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the shooting side, everything else is pretty much money. I mean, as far as his hustle, he plays defense, rebounds, goes to the hole. The only thing is his shooting, and I think his free throws. I think once he figures those two things out, like I said, it's going to extend his game so much that he's going to get a lot more open. It's going to be harder to wall him up. I mean, he pretty much he's getting contact every time he goes to the ball, go to the hole.
Right.
So I mean, he's going to make a lot more free throws. So I think that's going to make it a lot easier for him. So, and then I want to see what they do with those other pieces. As far as Middleton, he's still coming off that injury, and then some of those other guys are getting old on that team.
They are, and Middleton, hasn't played a full season. Obviously, he's getting older. Drew Holiday's not getting any younger. They don't really have any like younger players on that. They're kind of a veteran-laden team at this point. But yeah, I mean, I think they obviously still have plenty of good years with Giannis left. Middleton's knee and foot and all that injuries kind of scare me a little bit. And Drew, how old is Drew Holiday? He might be younger than I think.
No, I think he's like guys, 35, man.
That's what I was thinking. But I think he's younger than that. He's 32. Okay, he's not young.
Yeah, because he was I remember he was on the Sixers. He was an all-star in the Sixers too. That's when they had like Andre Iguodala. So I know he's old because he played with Iguodala, man. So.
This will be his 15th season in the league. Damn, we're getting old, Rich. That's what that means.
Nah, we gotta stay young in the mind, man.
I mean, Jimmy Butler's still out here. He's I think he's 33, 34. He's been in the league for about 15 years too. So I don't feel as bad.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to get into NBA shape, and then everything else is going to be a lot younger, man.
Sure. I'll get into that shape after you.
All right, man.
First. Show me the way.
All right, I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do the reverse Zion on you, man.
Reverse Zion. Jeff Green's still going. Jeff Green with the hoop. He's 36. So.
Yeah, but I also think he has some years where he didn't play due to injuries, so I think that gave him a few extra little gas in his tank.
Doesn't have any miles on those legs.
Yeah, so and he doesn't play as much too. So I know when he first started, he was like considered the franchise player of OKC with him and Kevin Durant, and then the injuries came in, and then kind of hasn't been the same since. But he's still a productive player though.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, we got the NBA mock draft coming up. They put out a bunch of different mock drafts. I mean, obviously, we're going to know who's going to go. We obviously know who's going to win. Your boy Victor's going to go 1 to the Spurs. And then between the Hornets and the Trailblazers at 2 and 3, they're predicting your boy Brandon Miller and then Scoot Henderson. And then after that, it's pretty much a dice roll for any of the other players.
Yep.
I'm hearing rumors about the guy, Amon Thompson from the G League. He's like a combo point guard, shooting guard. He's actually a twin. He'll probably most likely be the 4th pick, but then after that, everything else is just a dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see, once they, who picks who where, and then some of these other players that we really didn't get too much of a chance to see step up and when they're playing in the summer league. So definitely looking forward to that. I know you hate the summer league, but
I do.
I mean, hopefully Victor plays a few games before Pop shuts him down. So
I hope so. You don't want a Chet Holmgren situation though either.
Nah, but that was like a freak accident, man.
Yeah.
I think you still get him some run, maybe, 2 games, 2 or 3 games, depending on how the games go. I mean, if he comes out the first game, gives you like 30. I mean, second game, I probably would let him play the first half and then sit him. He'd be done after that. But just so he can get the feel of what it's like to play with some of the potential NBA players. I know it's going to be great for the league because it's going to keep them in the front pages with a talent like him playing in the summer league. So,
absolutely,
most hype since your boy Zion, man. Yo, man, that draft class is crazy, man.
I texted my buddy. He says it's not as bad as he thinks. He's like, hey, you're comparing it to 2003. But it's
there's a lot of role players in there, man.
There's a lot of role players. That's why I said it's a lot of mid-range talent, right? There's a lot of mid-range guys in there that are solid NBA players. It's just the high-end talent happens to be 2 guys that are
can't get on the field, man.
Can't get on the floor, or Ja until this year was doing fine, but now he can't stop flashing guns or toy guns or whatever. So yeah, no, I think it's tough sometimes in these drafts too. Like, I mean, we're looking at Wembanyama and Brandon Miller and Scoot, and I don't know what's after that. It gets a little dicey, but you never know. Could have Nikola Jokic sitting at there at number 41.
Yep. I mean, in that draft class, Jordan Poole was the second rounder. So
yeah,
that's just that. As I said, that's why I like seeing the summer league, because you get to see players that you might not have got to see on the NBA roster, because the NBA roster is going to be so deep. But you're going to see some potential on there. I mean, Knicks don't really got no picks, so because the Mavericks tanking games and stuff. But other than that, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of these what the future of the NBA is going to be like. So
yeah, no, I my feelings on the summer league. We've well documented, but you got guys out here that look like Michael Jordan, and then they don't get a lick in the NBA. But I know what you're saying, getting these younger guys out and getting some exposure.
Not too much in NFL. Wasn't really much besides a Colts player being investigated for gambling. A bunch of $25, $50 bet. The boy's making a few $100,000 a year, and he was betting on sports, man, and then betting on actual Colts games, which is kind of funny. But I mean, I'm thinking like on the 50, unless you're doing a crazy parlay on the $50 bet, like it's really not really not worth it. Maybe you're getting a few $100, but
so I feel like sometimes, like, I don't know, like you gotta draw the line. Like you gotta make the rules. You can't do this and whatnot. But like, I know sometimes those guys sometimes people just place bets for rooting interest, right? Like, and obviously if he's betting on his own team, not good. We've seen the Pete Rose fallout, but like at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like, was he betting on his team to win? Because uh,
Yeah.
that's the thing I never got with Pete Rose. He bet on baseball, but he also bet every game his team to win. And I get how it's an issue when it's a coach, when you're a coach, because it can affect the way that you manage a game, especially for or manage a team for the long term. Because baseball's, but in football, if you're betting on your own team, I guess you got to draw the line because it gets a little dangerous there, right? Like it's just hard, right? You just got to say no. You can't bet on football. No football. We're not doing this. We're not even gonna play with it because it's just gonna bring integrity up. And they already have people think games are scripted and whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah, man. To me, it's just like you seen what happened to some of these other players. I bet we're doing gambling, especially when we're really pretty much lost the whole season. So especially when you're in a position to potentially be a starting corner in the NFL, and then you're going to be up for a huge payday if things go your way. I mean, I feel like it's too much to risk to be betting on sports.
right.
Especially don't put in your name, man. Like
It doesn't.
somebody.
It doesn't matter. They have all this stuff tracked on these guys' phones.
Yeah, but I'm saying, don't if you're gonna try to do it, man, you gotta be secret agent about it, man. You can't be like,
Use your
I'm,
buddy's account.
yeah, you can't be doing some obvious stuff, man.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, so it's not illegal for them to gamble though. So that's why they have the accounts. It's illegal for them to gamble in NFL facilities, and it's illegal for them to gamble on the NFL anywhere. So, like, if you're sitting in your house, you can bet on the NBA game
Yeah,
like anyone else can. So that's why they have their accounts. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, just there's other ways to keep it, off the books.
but hey, man, I mean, hopefully, I would say hopefully he had a big bet that it's gonna supplement his, it's gonna supplement
Hope it was worth it.
worth it. Yeah, it's gonna supplement his salary, man. But like, I feel like I hope it's gonna be like one of those. Who was it? I forgot the guy's name. The linebacker. He was a linebacker on the Giants and from the Packers. He like sold a Pokemon card for like a couple
Oh
hundred,
yeah.
a couple 100,000. Like it got to be worth. It's got to be worth it, man. Then retired. So and then here the Bills are looking to get a new stadium, man.
Yeah, they've been trying to do this for a while, and they went back and forth with the city, and city doesn't want to. So basically, they said that I think they were going to put up like 90% of the cash or something like that. It's some big number. I don't know what it is, but or what the latest was. But the issue was just on the money and then where to put it. So yeah, it should. I'm assuming it's close to being done or close to being a done deal. Oh, they already broke ground. $1.54 billion.
Man, that's a lot of money for a stadium, man.
Whew. Was this the one they were gonna have a dome? I forget.
I'm not sure. I just saw it like it had popped up. I didn't really get a chance to look at it, but I mean, I don't know if you want to have a dome because I think kind of the allure was on when people go play in Buffalo during the winter. You have those snow games and it makes it hard. It's kind of
Yeah.
like to your advantage, but I think if you have a dome now, it's just like
So here's the thing, though, with what people are doing now. Everyone wants to get a Super Bowl, and there's no way they would ever agree to put a Super Bowl in Buffalo without a dome. And I agree with you. I mean, even if you had a retractable dome, I would just leave it open all the time.
yeah.
Unless it's pouring rain or something. I don't know. But yeah, if it's cold or if it's snowy, leave it open. But I know that they're all trying to get these. Oh yeah, so it will not have a dome, but it will have a canopy overhang to protect the fans from the elements. So I think it'll look like that. I think it'll probably look like the SoFi Stadium is my guess. Something like that.
Oh, so it's like half dome-ish.
Yeah, kind of covering the stands, but the field's all open to the weather.
It's gonna be interesting to see, though, man.
Yeah, I like when they put these new stadiums up.
I wonder how far it is going to be from the current one. I feel like normally when they make a new stadium, it's like right across the street or something from the old one.
I think it's pretty close. It's supposed to be ready for the 2026 season. It's in Buffalo, so they're in Orchard Park right now.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if it's still, because you know how like when the Yankees they built a new stadium and it was like right across the street. Then
Yeah.
I feel like everybody else.
It depends on where they have land, right?
Well, I feel like they just changed the parking lot into
True.
the new stadium, and then they swap the old stadium with the parking lot or something, or change the old stadium into something. So.
Oh yeah, it's like right across the street.
Yep. And we had your boy Shannon Sharp, man. He's leaving FS1. Don't know where he's going. Hopefully he's coming with us, but
He'll sign with us.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's going to be interesting to see. I think he's done a great job of establishing his own following as far as his Club Shay Shay, and people pretty much love him on that show. I feel like he's going to give him he can go anywhere and demand whatever he wants, but I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN snagged him up. It looks like ESPN is on a little free agency run right now, and they're getting a bunch of guys because I feel like they're getting killed in ratings.
They just hired McAfee, signed him to a big contract.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to bolster their roster because I feel like a lot of the other networks and more independent guys were kind of stealing some of their shine. I feel like because First Take hasn't really been the same. I feel like since Stephen A. and Skip were there, and then I feel like that was like the golden era, and then they've kind of been kind of running audibles as far as to see who they can get to get back to that peak. And I feel like them buying up these guys is going to allow them to have all the focus come to ESPN rather than people going to the Pat McAfee show over ESPN, or people going on First Take over ESPN. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're doing over there.
Yeah, and people just consume sports differently right now. That's why McAfee's on YouTube, sponsored by DraftKings and whatnot. But yeah, it's just they people like the 24/7 sports. I mean, he's on I forget he's on like noon to or like 11 to 4 or something. Just talking sports, right? Like
I think it's like 4 or 5 days a week, and he's giving them another like 3-4 hours. So
yeah, so people just like to consume things differently, and I think it's a big hire for ESPN because he's got like almost like a cult following going on.
Yeah, and I think it's great when you're able to get like all-star lineup, and then pretty much the whole day you can keep somebody glued on your network.
Right. I mean that's what I felt like ESPN used to have, and now their shows they're only okay. Their morning shows are only okay.
Yeah, I was thinking as far as the morning shows, the only one I really ever go to was the First Take, and then sometimes I'll go to the which one, the one
Wake Up.
Get Up. I think it's called Get Up. Yeah.
Get Up. Yeah.
And then I'll check in NBA or what's it called, Shoot Around or something like that. They keep changing it, and then NFL Prime once they're in football season. But outside of that, when they hit those like 5 o'clock shows that they used to do, they probably still do like the
Pardon my interruption. And
I like
Tony Reali.
They miss me with those, man. It's not what it used to be, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then outside of that, I mean, we got NHL. I mean, the Knights were up 2-0 on the Panthers. First game was awfully close. Panthers just couldn't put it in the puck. Couldn't put the puck on the net. Second game, a little different story. I don't want to say it's over, but it's not looking good for the Panthers, man.
Definitely doesn't look good, especially the way Vegas dominated them last night, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching the game, and there was that big hit from Kachuk on Eichel, which was clean hit, but just sometimes those big hits kind of fire up the team. And Florida came out and scored, and I thought, oh, they might be able to, at least make a little run, like put a little dent in this 4-0 lead. It was 4-1, and then Vegas scored 3 more, I think. And then obviously that was that. But they're big, strong. They play heavy. They're well coached. former Bruins coach, Butch Cassidy down there, and they're well disciplined. They don't take stupid penalties. They don't let Florida bait them into stupid penalties, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely tough, but Florida's been resilient. They got a tough team too, and they're heading back to Florida. If Florida can get this next game, 2-1, even if you leave 3-1, the series isn't over. But I would say this is a must-win game 3 for them.
Oh yeah, well I feel like the next two are must win.
I mean, they beat the Bruins when they were down 3-1, so I definitely. Tomorrow night is must win. If they lose and go down 3-0 in the finals, they're toast.
Yeah, but I feel like you don't want to put yourself in that position again where you're trying to come back.
I agree.
So, but I mean, yeah, ultimately it's going to be interesting to watch, though.
Yeah.
And then, outside of that, we had for the PGA. I mean, we had LIV and PGA merged. I know you missed that.
Easy. Rory said LIV is not merging with the PGA. The investment behind LIV is merging with the PGA. So yeah, I would say one of the more unexpected things. I don't know. I didn't see this coming this soon. I figured it would probably end up in something like this, where the PGA and the LIV Tour would coexist, and it just happened a lot quicker and a lot sooner. And my guess is that the PGA was probably running unsustainably for some of their higher priced or higher outputs, and they were, I don't know, with all the lawsuits, maybe they were in some trouble, and that's why they're trying to get this deal done quicker. But yeah, it sounds like waiting on the details. But the PGA and the private investment fund, Saudis who back LIV, and the DP World Tour are all in agreement to become essentially one company, and then the current commissioner Jay Monahan will be the CEO. So he'll run the company. It'll be a for-profit company. PGA Tour has always been nonprofit, which to me is just, everyone's like, oh, they're going from nonprofit to profit. I mean, nonprofit just means you're not like holding you're not holding your profits. They're either going into your quote unquote, petty cash, or you're just paying people more money, right? Like that's all you're doing, or you're donating money to charity, things like that. It's a way, for me, it's a way that they're just skirting taxes and things like that. So, but anyways, so yeah, we'll see what the details are and the financials and what this all looks like, because I'm interested to see. Rory spoke today. Rory's kind of been obviously outspoken. He called himself the sacrificial lamb because he's been, very anti-LIV, and he still was today. He's like, I hate that golf league. Like, that is not a golf league. But yeah, I mean, the players. Here's the thing, like, and I get where everyone's upset with Jay Monahan, because he was basically like, can't defect, stay here, we'll take care of you, don't take their money, it's, blood money, blah, blah, blah. And then, basically turned and made a deal with the Saudis and didn't tell any of the players. Like Corey said, he found out the same time everyone else found out, maybe like an hour before. But, I think the PGA Tour players kind of have a right to be pissed. Like, you sat here and banged the drum for, a year on why we shouldn't go, take a lump sum of money to go play golf. And then you essentially just took that same bag of money. So, I think it will be good for the game. The game will get obviously no need to worry about money anymore with these guys at the table. But what do they want in return is kind of yet to be seen, right? Like, you don't just give someone a bunch of money, and obviously they're going to be getting, it's an investment for them, so they'll be getting returns and whatnot. We all know, fossil fuels aren't going to last forever, so they're trying to diversify, which I get. But yeah, what do they want now in return, and what kind of say do they want in the PGA Tour? They still want to. Sounds like they still want to keep some aspects of LIV, so maybe have a couple of team tournaments, things like that. I don't know. We'll find out soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure they're in it for the relationships.
Oh yeah,
because it's going to give them a lot more exposure to some of these other partnerships that the PGA has in place. which is going to allow them to, venture out and spread their wings. So, I mean, kind of that's what they're paying for. They're paying it to get in the club. So, but on the PGA side, I mean, it kind of just looks like more money. And I understand exactly what you're saying about the players because, PGA was dogging them for trying to go over there. And now they're in bed with them. So, but ultimately, I feel like that's how it is in life. It's all about the money, man.
It reigns true again. I mean, cash is king. And money, I think multiple guys have said this now. It's like when the money comes flashing, people it's tough. And again, I don't blame any of the guys who went to LIV for taking the money. I do the part that annoys me with them is the lawsuits and things like that. And just like, guys, give it up. You got paid a bunch of money. Just like go do your thing, like Dustin Johnson did and Brooks Koepka did. But guys like Taylor Gooch and some of the European guys just would not let it go. And I think that's what people are struggling with on the tour.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna have to be posted to it and see how it plays out. So.
Well, they don't want to just say like, okay, yeah, now you guys can come back and play with us. Like they want some, they want it to be a little more painful on those guys that wanted to do all that stuff.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's, like I said, it's going to be it's going to be one of those things you're going to have to keep your eye on.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like excited to see what the details of this
partnership.
Yeah, I just want to see what it all looks like.
Oh, definitely. And hopefully for the players, I mean, it's a lot more money involved, in some of these tournaments. So.
Yeah, I mean, Rory said it without really, saying it today. It was like, look, we better get paid for the shit you put us through in the last year. So, yeah, we're curious to see what all plays out. You don't really get big golf news like this often. It was kind of wild.
Yeah, I would love to see a $50 million tournament. I think that would be big.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so we got did some chicken meatballs with a cacio e pepe sauce and burrata and tomato ravioli. So chicken meatballs, pretty basic, just ground chicken, an egg, breadcrumbs, some seasoning, salt, pepper, put a little bit of Italian seasoning in there. Make your meatballs, throw them on. I just, we can bake them. These ones I just did in the pan and covered the pan and kind of let them slow cook in there. Turned it on low, and then I had some raviolis from Trader Joe's. They were filled with tomato puree and burrata cheese.
Okay.
They were really good. But just cook those up, throw those in the pan, and then you can do there's a few ways you can do cacio e pepe. It's basically like a pepper and salt sauce with some cream. It's like a creamy pepper sauce, and it's delicious. So made that up. Basically just poured that in with the meatballs and the ravioli. Mixed it all up, cooked it on low for a little bit, and then served it, and a little Parmesan cheese on top.
I mean, first of all, you can't go wrong with the palm with the palm on top, man. Secondly, you can't go wrong. What was it? Was the pepper? Did it have like some kick to it, or was it more just like a normal?
So it has a little kick to it, but it's not spicy. It's more like a little bit of like a tangy kick to it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's good though.
But I mean, is it It's not like over pepperish though, right? Like where.
No,
okay.
No, it's not. It's got the right amount of pepper, and it's cooked down a little bit, so it's not as it's not like you're just like eating a bunch. Like when you have too much pepper, I know that I've had that flavor before. It's not like that.
Okay, and that's good then, man.
Yeah, and it has it's got pecorino and Parmesan cheese.
But do you feel like it's because it was you said it was the chicken you said it is a chicken was it like ground beef or
Yeah, ground chicken.
chicken? Yeah. So do you feel like that matters, or do you feel like it'd be better with the ground beef or something else?
So typically when it's served, what's the word I'm looking for? When it's served in like Italy or at a real Italian restaurant, there's no protein with it. It's usually just noodles and the cacio e pepe.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it being better with maybe like a fried piece of chicken, something like that, or even like a grilled chicken.
Okay.
Meatballs were okay. I think they ended up being probably a little bit too dense for what it was, but still good.
Even for chicken,
Yeah, I mean, it's just because you have it's even with chicken, it's still like a denser meatball. Like if you had it like a grilled chicken where you could slice up and you could kind of cut it up, it's a little lighter. You could do it with a meatball. You could cut up the meatball and it'd essentially be the same thing. But it was good. It wasn't bad. It was just I would probably do it with something with a different piece of chicken or a different style of chicken. I don't know if beef goes well with it. I don't think so.
Interesting.
You could probably do a veal. Veal, you could probably do.
Veal?
Yeah.
I know some people do like the mix where like they'll do like a veal with the ground beef and something else, which those normally turn out good too. So. And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
All right, so a new flavor of Twisted Tea came out, and this is a throwback. I don't know if you've seen this yet. It's a Rocket Pop flavored Twisted Tea. So the old school Rocket Pops, the red, white, and blues.
Oh yeah.
Every summertime staple at the ice cream truck.
Yep.
So they made a Twisted Tea with the Rocket Pop flavor. So got one of those. It weirdly it does have a Rocket Pop flavor to it. You could tell it's there. For me, the tea kind of overtakes it a little bit. So you kind of get like that Rocket Pop flavor up front, but then like the taste that's left in your mouth is more of the tea flavor. So if you really are wanting the Rocket Pop, like I think that you'll be slightly disappointed. To me, it's more of like just that quick hit of that flavor, and then it's just back to regular tea. So I wouldn't get it again, to be honest. I thought I like their half and half better. Those are my favorites, and they're a little bit lighter. I just can't I didn't look at the sugar, but I got to imagine there's just an ass load of sugar in that thing, and that doesn't bode well for the next morning, especially when you're out in the sun drinking Twisted Teas all day. So. Yeah, I'd probably give it a 6.1.
Oh man, it's pretty bad, man.
It is, I was, I saw it and I was kind of like excited. This could be good, but it was okay. It wasn't earth shattering, but it was okay.
Oh man, sounds like a hard pass, man.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot. I mean, just for the I would try one just for
the nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia. But yeah, other than that, no thanks.
Dang, man. It sounded good too from the summer, because you think about summertime. So
I know, same thing. That's the same thing I saw. I was like, man, this brings me back to chasing down ice cream trucks on Long Island in the summer.
Yeah, man, good times, man. You can't do that now in New York. All that damn smoke. So pass out before you even get close.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then for this week for the BRs, I mean, pretty much got our set group of shows we're going through. We got a Silo, another, like I mentioned before, a good show on Apple Plus. Pretty much about the people that are living in the silo, so to say, and they don't know why they're there. And then some of them are starting to question, them being there, what else is outside. So they're you're kind of giving the struggle of some of the people that are trying to figure out what's outside, and then some of the stuff that people are doing inside to maintain that community, so people don't venture outside. So it's definitely good, man. I'm trying to compare it to something. I mean, the only show I can kind of think off the top of my head is like the Dome, those type of shows. It's like that gated community. I'm trying to think of something recent. I thought about it, but I forgot what it was. But definitely something you could check out when you get a chance. And then we have a Class of 09, It's getting better and better with each episode. Kind of like I mentioned before, if I was the '09 class of FBI agents at Quantico, and kind of what they're going through as far as how to solve crimes, and they some AI gets into the mix of helping them solve crimes, and now looks like the AI is going out of control, getting to be like an iRobot type of situation or Minority Report type situation where the computers, the AI's logic is pretty much undeniable as far as like the determining factor of who's good, who's bad, and so forth. Right. So definitely spicing up. Looking forward to. I think they're episode 6 now. So they got about 2 more episodes left. So definitely something you can binge watch and get through.
Nice.
We had Yellow Jackets. They put out that season finale. I caught it kind of late. I know you saw it, man. Man, this show don't make no damn sense, man.
I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I felt like
it's wild.
I felt like they could have just took it in a great direction as far as like figuring out what the hell this whole thing is about, but it's just more and more like, I don't know, man. They just keep getting off from doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing, and now we're back we're pretty much back to square one. Mm-hmm. Like we don't really know what's going on as far as like this whole thing they're worshiping, or the thing that's got a hold of them.
Yeah.
And then they never really show what happened to the other black girl, the one that was playing with the mouse.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe we'll see what happens to her next season. We'll probably get another season of it because I don't think Showtime has many shows that are popping like that where they can really afford to get rid of the show. It's probably one of their best shows, I think.
Yeah, it just seems like they're slow playing it a little. Like, I want them to speed it up, obviously, but yeah, it seems like it's just taking forever. And like, with all the different flashbacks, it's like they're not really focusing on one story, so it kind of bounces around. You're basically watching 2 shows in one, right?
Yeah, I hope they don't give us some like grand finale where like they're all dead and they all died in that freaking plane or some craziness, and this has just been some nonsense we've just been watching for no reason. So I mean, watch it at your own risk.
It's gotta, the thing is, it's got a good storyline, an interesting storyline at least. It's just
I mean, I know you were happy they killed the girl though. What's her name? Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think she had to go. She was
she was been supposed to go because she was supposed to be the sacrifice before the dude's brother got killed in a little in the ocean.
Yeah, right.
So
yep.
But I mean, they're gonna give us another season. We're gonna check it out, but like I said, watch at your own risk, man.
Yep, exactly.
And then outside of that, we had From, another great episode, another good show. I mean, this show is just it's kind of, like I said, it's just like Lost, man. They got the writers of Lost. I mean, it's pretty much like Lost. The only thing is we just got to figure out what the hell they are. So they kind of defeated one of the little monsters that come out, vampire-ish monsters that come out at night. Now they're trying to figure out how they can replicate what they did to the other monsters, but still a lot going on as far as how they can do this, and then as far as the other stuff, because now they're putting in I don't know if the writers are doing this on purpose, but they're kind of saying that this is kind of like an experiment where everybody's they're being watched by people, which it kind of seems like they are being watched because of when they try to make radio contact. There was somebody over the radio that said, hey, don't do this or don't do that. So they kind of knew what was going on. So, but ultimately is we're trying to figure out where the hell they are as far as if they're trapped somewhere and this is like experiment, or if they're like stuck in limbo somewhere between life and death or another dimension. So there's a lot of different theories. So definitely looking forward to watching it. And then outside that, man, checked out Cruel Summer. Came back on Hulu. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
this season,
I didn't realize it was a whole new storyline.
Yeah, man, this might be a skip, man. This might be a skip.
I watched the first 20 minutes and then we started recording. So I was watching it before we got on, and it seems a little weird.
Yeah, after you watch the first episode is was decent. One has a little cliffhanger at the end, and then on the second episode they give it away. But then it's just like, all right, what rabbit hole are we going down now? So, but I felt like if they kept it like suspenseful, where we didn't know what happened at the end of the first, like if we didn't know who was a part of what transpired in the first episode, then it would have made, like, I think that you could have played off of that for the rest of the episodes to try to figure out who it was. But now it's just like, all right, they're kind of giving us answers early, so I'm interested in seeing which direction the show goes into. But like I said, it might be a hard skip, man. I don't know. And we're gonna see what happens after episode 3. Like, I know they got the first 2 episodes out, and then outside of that, I don't think it was really anything else I was really watching or anything.
No, I don't think so. I'm waiting for The Crowded Room to come out. That one looks pretty good. I don't know if you saw that on Apple.
The Crowded Room, that's the one with Tom Holland?
Yeah, Tom Holland. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to check that one out. And then I wrapped up Ted Lasso. That was pretty good.
I gotta keep watching that. He just broke up with his wife in the first season. Just, his wife left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm there, and then I felt like I was watching something else too. Oh, we finished Defending Jacob on Apple TV too.
Yeah, you said that was good.
It was good. The acting was not great. The storyline was good, and then you never actually figure out what, you never got a factual answer of what happened in the end, which is kind of annoying.
Oh,
I hate those. Like they leave it like
open,
kind of up and open. You think one thing, so you're like, oh, okay, but they don't really ever
tell you
say it was that. Yeah, which is annoying.
Yeah, and I think I was catching up on the joint about the plane, Manifest. I was rewatching that, and then
we started that's right. We started second half of season 2 on that. That show just gets more and more ridiculous, man.
Oh, I'm only on about to start season 2, so I'm way behind. So
yeah, I think we started episode 15 on season 2. It's wild.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be wild once they start talking about this freaking like time spatial stuff with the plane and stuff like that. So, but ultimately, I think it seems everybody from the critics, everybody said it was good. I know people that watched it when it was on ABC or whatever. They were very upset when it got canceled, but Netflix brought it back to do one last season. So, hopefully they do it right. So, yeah, and I think that was I think that's it, man. I think some other stuff I got in the queue, but I think I breezed through the Black Knight on Netflix. It was like one of those shows you play on the background. It wasn't really much. I'm trying to get back into that the little joint with the little kid with the horns. I forget what it's called on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I never watched that one.
Yes, I don't know. I don't feel like I shouldn't be watching it, man. So it's hard for me to get through it. So, and then I think that's it, man. I don't got anything else.
That's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.